We're now joined live via Zoom by Lieutenant Colonel in the Reserves, Eyal Dror, the founder and commander of the Good Neighbor Campaign. Good evening, and thank you for being here. Let's start with, the hostage situation. On one hand, Hamas representatives saying, okay, we're open to being flexible. On the other, that has not happened. And here we are with 101 lives hanging in the balance, adding the chilling video of Idan Alexander today.
Oh, good evening. And first, I think that the geopolitical situation has been changed a little bit. The defeat of Hezbollah, the loss that the Syrian regime is now suffering, the Shiite proxies and the Shiite axis that suffer from a lot of losses. And I do believe that Hamas found itself alone. Yes, Hamas has its own ideology and Hamas is willing to sacrifice more and more. However, there is more and more pressure on Hamas. We can speak about the winter, the second winter, but today it's like 70% of the Gazan people are living in temporary residence, which make their life a little bit harder. It might be push more about Hamas. In addition to the Trump administration and the message of President Trump that he wants the ceasefire and the release of the hostages until January, I think it gives more motivation to both sides to have a progress. And we heard the Hamas voices telling that today, because of the situation, of course, they will not say it, but and they will, of course, try to say it's because the people of Gaza, but it's because of the pressure that they are in. We heard a little bit different voices, which, for example, from the Israeli point of view, will be able to make the negotiation a little bit more easier. So I'm really optimistic about the next upcoming days that something will be changed and hopefully the hostages will start to come back.
Well, let's hope, of course, that you're right. But also, let's talk about UNRWA holding back the delivery of the aid packages. I mean, still armed gangs are stealing food that is intended for, the civilians.
Yeah, so regarding UNRWA, I think that everybody understood that UNRWA cannot continue with its position. UNRWA, with all due respect, was part of the terrorist attack on October 7th. We saw there is plenty of intelligence material that has been supplied that UNRWA paid the salaries of terrorists who make the massacre in October 7th. Yes, I do think that we should find a solution by, for example, another organization that can do this delivery. With all due respect to UNRWA, this is not the only organization with the quality to deliver food. And yes, I do believe that Israel should do more in order to protect the situation, because in my opinion, when Hamas is hijacking all the goods that enter in Gaza, it put Israel in a bad light. First of all, Israel has been accused that it is not enough food entering Gaza because everything is hiding on Hamas storages. And even worse, Hamas has the ability to continue to sell it. By the way, the humanitarian aid should be delivered for free. Hamas is taking a lot of money. It gives them double power. First of all, they have the money to pay salaries, for example, and even more, they are the owner of Gaza, because if I'm hungry and I don't have bread, if a person will give me bread, I will obey him, I will go after him. So I do believe that is a challenge for Israel, but there is some plans about the future, and I do believe that it can be changed. In any condition, UNRWA cannot be part of this solution. UNRWA is one of the problem, not a solution.
Okay, thank you very much, Lieutenant Colonel in the Reserves, Eyal Dror.